Good evening and welcome to Sunset News. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. My name is Ogito Greg. In the news tonight, mining investment exceeds target. Namibia's mining sector attracted $1.865 billion in investment during the first 9 months of the Namibia Public-Private Forum implementation period. The figure is more than 3.5 times the $525 million investment target set for the period. However, job creation has fallen slightly short of expectations, with 3,054 jobs created against a target of 3,375. Chamber of Mines Chief Executive Fabian Shanika says the figures show investment is running significantly ahead of the targets set under the Namibia Public-Private Forum, while employment has reached about 90.5% of the target. Targets are based on commitments made at the inaugural Namibia Public-Private Forum in October last year. The mining industry presented a 4-year project pipeline expected to attract about $2.865 billion in investment and create more than 18,000 direct jobs. Chamber of Mines President George Basiwa says the Mining Expo is being used to assess how commitments made under the forum have translated into actual projects, investment and employment. Household debt crisis under scrutiny. Namibia's growing household debt burden is coming under scrutiny, with workers warning that borrowing has increasingly become a means of survival rather than a way to acquire assets or improve their livelihoods. The concerns were raised during public hearings in Keetmanshoop by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economy and Industry, Public Administration and Planning. Workers, trade unions, borrowers and community members shared concerns over salary deductions, high interest rates and aggressive lending practices. Committee Deputy Chairperson Hilma Ita says the hearings are aimed at understanding how debt and salary deductions are affecting households and whether existing laws adequately protect consumers. She says the information gathered will help the committee make recommendations to Parliament, including on the pending consumer credit bill. Ita says micro-lending investments reached about $5.2 billion Namibian dollars between 2020 and 2024, while total household debt has risen to an estimated $78 billion. Speed humps' safety impact remains unclear. The safety impact of speed humps installed on Windhoek's Western Bypass remains unclear, with Motor Vehicle Accident Fund figures recording 88 crashes, 177 injuries and 17 fatalities along the wider Windhoek-Okahanya corridor. The figures cover the period from June 2025 to July 2026, spanning roughly a year before the speed humps were installed and the period following their introduction in June this year. The figures come amid continued public scrutiny and a legal challenge against the speed bumps. Social activist Michael Amasholelo approached the High Court seeking their removal, arguing that the structures were unlawful and posed a danger to motorists. He also claimed that 4 accidents had occurred since the speed humps were installed near Windhoek's northern industrial area. Amasholelo further told the court that an ambulance responding to an emergency was delayed by about 5 minutes while traveling over the speed humps on 11 June. The government has opposed the application. Works and Transport Minister Veiko Nekundi raised legal and technical objections, including whether Amasholelo had the legal standing to bring the application and whether the matter qualified as urgent. The minister also challenged the terminology used in the application, arguing that Namibian law classifies roads as trunk, main, district and farm roads rather than highways and freeways. Missing Rundu man's body recovered. The body of a 52-year-old Rundu resident who went missing in the Kavango River last Thursday has been recovered after a 3-day search operation. Kavango East Crime Coordinator Bonifacius Kanyetu says Siyamba Avelinu's body was found at about 9 o'clock on Monday at Sauyemwa. Avelino was allegedly traveling in a canoe with two other men when it capsized while they were crossing the Kavango River from Angola to Namibia last Thursday. The two other occupants managed to swim to safety, while Avelino was suspected to have drowned. Police say no foul play is suspected at this stage. His body was taken to Rundu State Hospital mortuary and is pending a post-mortem examination. And now let us go for a quick commercial break.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia. Africa Good Morning. Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe. Wednesdays, Rorisang Mokojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa Good Morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogat tackles South Africa.
Yes, a very good morning, Ashwin and Aina. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
Welcome back to Sunset News. In community news this evening, Parliamentary Committee raises concerns over Opuo mining. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources has raised concerns over the challenges facing small-scale miners and mining communities in Opuo. The committee was in Opuo yesterday as part of its ongoing assessment of the sector's challenges and opportunities. Committee Chairperson Toby Alpindi says the engagement exposed serious concerns about the way the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy operates in the area, as well as the difficulties faced by small-scale miners. Although economic activity linked to mining is taking place, Alpindi says more needs to be done before Opuo can be considered a mining community that is truly benefiting from the sector.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources was in Opuo. We had a stakeholders meeting with various ministries, stakeholder ministry, communities, traditional chiefs, and all the small miners. So we brought everybody together. The hall was extremely full. I was so fascinated and excited that the community came out in number for them to try and really understand and make their voices heard through information sharing, dissemination, and tough questions being asked. And that was for me an amazing opportunity for us to, to really engage the community in a very, very serious way, together with all the stakeholders. They asked tough questions, the ministry explained themselves, but we also pick up a lot of serious anomalies about the way the mining ministry is operating generally around this area, but also particularly challenges that are faced by small miners. So we are able to dissect those, to record those, and to really profile them properly in order for us to include them in our report as we go ahead throughout Kunene and then going into Arongo. Now, tomorrow we'll continue, we'll go to Epupa and deal with issues of against small miners. We'll visit more small mining community. We'll engage community on the ground, just like we are here now at this mining site where you have a main EPL holder and other, mining claims that are owned by the community and how they are engaging, and we are able to see all the serious challenges that are going on. It is true there are some good economic activities going on here, but it's also true that there are serious challenges that the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Industrialization, Mines and Energy needs to undertake timelessly for us to call ourselves a mining community that truly benefits community. And I think I'm excited as we go through the regions. The community members are fired up. They take their responsibility very, very secretly and very, very seriously. And as we go forward, I can only imagine that our finding will be robust.
To close off our community section, we look at Koregas Council, where ablution facilities are falling apart. Most of the ablution facilities at the Koregas Town Council are currently not functioning, with only one facility reportedly in proper working condition near the office of the Chief Executive Officer Andreas Hauasep. The situation has raised concerns about the availability and condition of basic sanitation facilities at the council. However, the council says the situation is expected to improve with budgetary provision made to renovate all its ablution facilities during the current financial year. Public Relations Officer Simpson Ohurup says the planned renovations will address the condition of the council's ablution facilities. Now, a short ad break.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia.
Africa Good Morning.
Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe. Wednesdays, Rorisang Mokojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa Good Morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogarth tackles South Africa.
Yes, very good morning, Ashwin and Aina. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo.
Welcome back to Sunset News. It's time to look at the latest economic news. Bank of Namibia expected to hold the repo rate. The Bank of Namibia is expected to keep the repo rate at 6.75% when its Monetary Policy Committee announces its decision on Wednesday. Simone Storm Research says the recent rise in inflation is too concentrated in fuel and transport costs to justify another interest rate increase. Namibia's annual inflation rate rose by 4.4% in June, the highest level since August 2024. However, core inflation stood at about 3.3%, suggesting that underlying price pressures remain more moderate. Simone Storm says the Bank of Namibia already raised the repo rate defensively in June, ahead of South Africa, to help protect the interest rate differential, supporting the Namibia dollar's 1-to-1 peg with the South African rand. The research firm says there is therefore less urgency for another increase. It also says transport costs accounted for about 44% of the headline inflation rate in June, largely driven by higher fuel prices. Simone Storm expects the central bank to leave the repo rate unchanged at 6.75%. Let's look at the economic indicators. We see that one British pound trades at 21.85 Namibian dollars, while the euro, 1 euro will cost you 18.67 Namibian dollars, and 1 US dollar will cost you 16.18 Namibian dollars. 1 Chinese yuan will cost you $2.40. Gold is trading at $4,393.58 per ounce American, and platinum is trading at $1,744 American dollars and 98 cents per ounce. Gold is down about 0.20%, while platinum is down 0.27%. Copper is up, trading at $6.61 per ton, and it's up 0.5%, while Brent crude oil is trading at $90.67 per barrel, down 0.01%. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
This week's decisions, today's debates, tomorrow's consequences. The agenda puts the spotlight on Namibia's most pressing issues and the people driving them. From headline makers to groundbreakers, we bring you the voices and perspectives at the center of the national conversation. One story, one interview, the depth you won't find anywhere else. That is The Agenda. Catch The Agenda on 102.com and on ntv.my.na. Join us every weekday evening for the Evening Review as we unpack the issues shaping Namibia. From politics and economics to culture and community life, our team delivers sharp analysis, expert insights, and conversations with Namibians across society. It's not just the headlines, it's the full picture. Stay informed and engaged with the Evening Review.
Welcome back to Sunset News. It's time to look beyond our borders at international news. Tricycle ambulances are saving lives in Ghana. Tricycle ambulances are helping improve access to emergency healthcare in remote communities in Ghana, particularly for pregnant women. The vehicles, powered by motorcycle engines, are designed to navigate narrow and rough roads where conventional ambulances are often difficult to use or unavailable. The tricycle ambulances were developed by non-profit organization Moving Health as part of efforts to reduce maternal deaths in rural communities. They are fitted with full-length stretchers, basic life support equipment, oxygen concentrators, and emergency birthing kits, while also providing space for a relative and a healthcare worker. One woman, 24-year-old Bile Rosemont, says the service helped save her life after she suffered a miscarriage in October 2024. She was bleeding heavily and needed to be transferred from a community clinic to a larger health facility. In the past, she says women in her community often had to rely on motorcycles or wait for someone to provide transport, a delay that could put both mothers and babies at risk. The tricycle ambulances are now providing a faster and more reliable option for rural patients who need urgent medical attention. Next is the weather forecast. We can see that Katima Malilo, we're expecting for Wednesday, the 12th of August, temperatures from 7 degrees to 27 degrees, sunshine also in Nhana, sunshine all the way, temperature from 11 degrees to 28. Ruakana, we expect temperature to be from 12 to 28. In Chumeb, we expect temperatures between 8 degrees and 23 degrees. Sunset all over the country tomorrow, especially in the north. Ochivarongo from 3 degrees to 22 degrees in terms of temperature. Windhoek from 2 degrees till 19 degrees. Gubabas also from 2 to 19 degrees. That's expected for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2026. Furthermore, in Henties Bay, we expect temperatures between 15 degrees and 30 degrees. Walvis Bay also between 18 degrees and 31 degrees, sunshine all the way. Rehoboth will be cold in the morning, temperatures from 0 degrees expected up to 19 degrees. Then in Keetmanshoop, we expect from 5 degrees to 17 degrees. Lüderitz will be warmer from 16 degrees to 30 degrees expected tomorrow. And Oranjemund, we expect temperatures between 11 degrees and 26 degrees for Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2026. Now we join Ari Hogat, who will give us the latest in terms of sport. Enjoy.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with soccer news first from the English Premier League that will start on the 21st of August. So team news from Liverpool is that they've acquired the services of experienced defender, that is Ronald Araujo, and he will join from Barcelona, and he also plays for Uruguay. He's international player for Uruguay. He's also the captain of Barcelona. Araujo will be on loan to Liverpool for the season, but there's also an option to make the move permanent for 55 million euros by Liverpool. It is Liverpool that's got a difficult first game, an away game against Newcastle. That's their season starting game, and that will be on Sunday, the 23rd of August. Moving on to rugby news in international sport, and that is the All Blacks, the rugby team from New Zealand that play their second tour game in the greatest rivalry series against the Sharks Rugby Club. That is on Tuesday evening in Durban. And the team news from the All Blacks is that the number one scrum half, that is Cam Roygaard, he will not play in the game against the Sharks, and he's got a calf injury, but it seemed not to be too serious. He will probably be available to play either against the Bulls on the 15th of August or for the first test on the 22nd of August against the Springboks. Already the All Blacks lost the services of Billy Proctor. He's the centre. He was injured against the Stormers. He's going back home, and no replacement have been announced yet. To close off today's international sports news, it is tennis news. The National Bank Open Championship that is being played in Canada. And on the women's side of the draw, good win for Iga Swiatek, number 7 seed. She beat Diane Schneider 6-2, 6-1. That's in the quarterfinal. And then also it was Elena Svitolina. She beat Ekaterina Alexandrova, and she beat her in 3 sets to advance to the semi-finals. On the men's side of the draw, the highest seeded player that is left in the tournament is Ben Shelton of America. He's number 5 seed, and besides him, the second highest player left in the men's draw is Leonard Tin. He is from the USA. It will be Ben Shelton that will play against Jakub Mensik in the quarterfinal, and then it is a Tin that will play against Daniel Aguela from Spain. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We'll talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure to join Sunset News on Facebook and all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.